Hey everybody, Andrew back here with the second part of the How Does Your Subconscious Mind Grow video. And the only reason I'm making this, I wasn't actually planning to do two parts. It's just I looked back at the video and I realized there's a good amount of stuff that I still had to say about the topic that probably didn't make perfect sense, and so this video here is just to kind of make everything kind of come together and make perfect sense for you. But yeah, sorry I have to do it this way. I wish I had all the editing tools so I could just remove all the stuff that I wanted to and just add in another split part of the video with the part that I wanted to say and just make it all pretty for you guys. But unfortunately your boy's broke for the moment, so I can't buy no $400 editing software with a subscription. So this is the way that Andrew does this. So basically there was a point 3.5 maybe 4 minutes into the last video where I got kind of stuck on my train of thought, and I just kind of I wouldn't say bullshitted my way through it, but just kind of said the best description I could because I didn't know what it was I was trying to say. And so what it is that, because what I was saying is that, it's easy to come back to a craft or a sport or a game or something like that and kind of get that information back because it's something easy. It's something, or not something easy, but it's something solid. It's an actual event or a hobby or something that you can take place in and go back to it. But with a thought, with remembering something like a smell, or remembering something just a piece of information or something like that, you can't really go back anywhere to get that same smell because the whole point is that you forgot it. You don't remember it, so you can't go back there and get it because there's nothing there's no place to go back to. You don't know the place to go back to. Or with a piece of information, the whole point is that you can't remember it. So how are you going to go get this information if you can't remember it? It's the same idea as a song that you forgot the name of. You remember the whole every single lyric to the song, but at the same time, you just cannot seem to remember what the song is called, and so, boom, you're screwed. There's no way you can find the song. I mean, maybe you can type in some of the lyrics to find the song, but sometimes that doesn't even work. You know what I mean? And so, with things like information, sense, stuff like that, there's really no way to get it back. And the thing to realize, the thing to understand about the subconscious mind and the way it works is that it's on a subconscious level holding on to that information, and it's building into something. So even though you might have forgotten the piece of information, it's still going to eventually, come up, and it's still going to be something that you remember at some point in your life. Or with a smell, you might not remember what it is, but at some point you're going to smell something that has a faint hint of whatever that smell was, and you're going to be like, oh, that is familiar. What is that? I don't know, but, or the same thing with the song, right? It's just eventually going to come up and you're going to be like, oh, I was stupid, I didn't know that. And it's, that happens a lot with just advice people give us. We just kind of brush it off. We're like, oh, we don't need that, that's not important. And then 10 years into your life, you realize it's an extremely valuable piece of information. And so when you realize that, you just feel dumb because, you had the opportunity to fully retain something and you just kind of didn't think it was that important. And so I guess that's one of the interesting things about the subconscious mind, is that the more in the moment you are, the more in the present moment, and the more aware you actually are, the more you're able to take in and kind of feed to your subconscious mind. And so the more aware you are, the easier it is for your subconscious mind to grasp it, and the easier it is for your subconscious mind to build it into whatever its, evolved form is. And so, the reason I was making this video in the last video is to help you guys, or not to help you guys, but to just, give you a tool that you can use every day in order to improve at the things you want to improve at. And so the best way, or the easiest way I know how to do that, is to kind of tell you about my own personal methods of using it, okay? And so I don't know if every single person is going to be able to understand. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to just say it. Hopefully all of you guys are smart enough to understand it. So, I don't know if you guys all know, but I also rap. I also make music. And so all the time I'm trying to play music, or I'm trying to, rap lyrics in my head and stuff like that in order to kind of improve my skill at rapping. Now, the thing is that most of the things that I learn, or the cool verses that I come up with, I forget within 10 seconds of having it happen. But the cool thing is that verse, or that flow, or that, if I'm listening to someone else's song, just the point or the message that they made, even though I forgot it, it's still something that I retained. And so whether or not I know it or not, at some point it can still come up in my music. And so, it's just little things like dancing, just like the way that you move to a song, it makes you kind of understand the way that music works a little bit. And so just kind of by going out of your way to dance to a song, I'm actually feeding my subconscious information on how music works. And so just by doing that, it kind of improves my understanding. It doesn't do it right away, but over time it's going to. And so that's what I was talking about when I said, you only got 16 hours in a day. You can only do so much in a day. You can only take in and retain so much information. But what you can also do in order to kind of extend that time and make it seem like a lot more time is just take advantage of your subconscious mind. So be in the moment where you're at and try to use everything you can to improve what it is you're trying to do. So, if what you want to be is a freaking engineer or something like that, some kind of inventor or creator, then every single day just be kind of trying to figure out how things work, to just kind of, even if you don't completely understand it, you're still taking in that information, and that information is going to eventually help you to invent something. Or, if what you want to do is learn another language, then just kind of every time that you see something written in another language, just go look at it. Just go read it, say it a couple times, because even though at that point in your life it means nothing, once you grasp more of the language, once you got 50% fluent, then that little piece of information, just reading that sign, that's going to be one of the words that you know absolutely perfectly, because it was the first word that you kind of took the time to, look into. And so you might learn how to say hi and hola and what's up, but eventually you're going to stumble across that one word that was sitting on whatever sign in the middle of wherever, and you're going to be like, oh, I remember that word, and it's just going to stick with you forever, And so this is how you can take advantage of your subconscious mind and make more progression than the average person is able to make. Because the average person thinks, oh, I got 16 hours, what can I learn in that period of time? But you can give yourself a little tool, give yourself a little bit of a enhancement. I don't really know what to call it. You probably know exactly what word I'm thinking of, but just give you this tool or whatever so that you are able to, instead of only having 16 hours in a day, you'll instead have unlimited time, because depending on how much you're able to take in depends how much you learn. And there's no real limit to how much you can take in. The only limit to how much you can take in is how aware you can be and how efficient you can be with your time. So if you can be as efficient as possible and aware as possible, then you can feed your subconscious mind more than anyone else, and therefore you're going to progress a lot more than anybody else at whatever it is that you do. And so people wonder how certain people become the greatest at whatever. It's because either consciously or unconsciously they made 10 million times more progression than everybody else around them, because they took advantage of their subconscious mind. So understanding how to do that can give you a huge boost in life and really help you to reach unlimited heights. So you know, hopefully that sums it up for you guys. Hopefully that makes the last video make sense. I really hope that everyone who watched that last video watched this video, but I guess we'll find out eventually. So yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come watch this extra 7-8 minutes of stuff, because obviously, or hopefully, it was more than worth your time. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you a lot for watching. I'm not going to give you the whole outro speech again, because you probably just watched the first one, so see you later. Appreciate it guys. Next time, I will see you, and deuces. Peace out.